What's going on, Pixel Hackers? Lovrecich from PixlFeed here. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to get more sales using holidays in your Shopify store with a combination of Facebook ads and Klaviyo. But before we get started, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's dive right in. So, I'm going to show you guys the same technique or the same campaign that I used to generate one of my clients 50x ROAS in one day just by generating a sale. Here's a screenshot for proof. And if you can't read it in there, make sure to join my Facebook group. The link will be in the comments, pinned to the top. So how did I do that? Well, carefully crafted and carefully thought out. See, the problem is that most marketers that are starting out, they don't tend to think outside of the box. So, and some don't even do this at all. So whenever there's a sale, that's when everybody tries to jump in for a major holiday like Mother's Day, Father's Day, Easter, and such. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't take advantage of those with some campaigns and some marketing around it, but the problem with that, the issue with that is that everyone else is doing the same. So your costs are going to be through the roof. And if you sell a campaign out through email marketing, they're most likely not going to see it unless you're sending like 5 or 10 emails and really get in their inbox and catch their attention with a good headline to try to get them, to open that email. So how do we beat that? Well, the best way to do it is to create your own holiday. But not only that, you gotta be very witty about it. So think about holidays that will relate to your brand. For example, one of my favorite holidays before it became mainstream, anybody who knows me personally, it was Pizza Day. I used to create holidays like Pizza Day, Coffee Day, anything that I could think of, just out of the ordinary, right? Now pizza's too mainstream, so that won't even work, right? Because now like everybody recognizes it and posts about it. So for this holiday, it wasn't even really a holiday. It was a moving sale. We call it a moving sale, right? And we basically told them that everything had to go, but it was carefully crafted. So how do we do that? So first of all, number one, make up a holiday. All right, we already went through that, all right? So you make up a holiday, create it at your own will and all good stuff. Number two, once your holiday is picked out, it's time to work on the pre-order and to hype it up. So how do we do that? Well, the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to go into your Klaviyo. Yeah, for email marketing, you should be using Klaviyo if you're using Shopify. And you're going to create a 3 email sequence to hype them up, right? So in this 3 email sequence, what you're going to do is you're gonna tease them, all right? So you give them a little shot, a little tease of what's coming in the next week or so, right? And you can play this out, and listen, you can play it out for 2 weeks if you need to. You can do 6 emails, but I like to do a week ahead of time because I will do like Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, right? So what do? You create your email sequence, make sure that goes out to your list, hype them up, tease them up, make sure you're excited and you're copywriting talking about it. Make sure you tease it like, the first email, something's coming, blah, blah, blah. And then you show a little, tease of the product or the sale or whatever. Number 2, hype it up again. Like, it's almost here. It's coming, blah, blah, blah. And then the date, 12/2 or whatever. I don't know. And then number 3 is like, you're just hours away, right? And just tease it up even more. So now you're creating that FOMO, you're creating that hype, right? But not only are you gonna do this with Klaviyo, you're also going to track and create a segment of anyone who opens those emails. And I forgot to mention, you're gonna create a link for a hype page. Right? Showing inside your store, hyping up the sale that's coming with a countdown and the whole 9 yards. So if anyone else from organic traffic or anything else goes to that page, make sure you have a lead opt-in. So you're gonna create anybody who opened these emails from Klaviyo, anybody who opts in organically from Lander in place with the countdown, and anyone who clicks links inside the email. So now we're building audiences that we can sync with Facebook of anyone that's hyped up for the sale, right? Now we got them targeted. We have it on our target, on our sites, right? Second thing you're going to do here is you're going to create both video and image ads, and you're gonna run ads for it, all right? But I like to do video for the sales because it's really cool to hype up. You can put some cool filters on it, fast cuts, fast edits, and then, you know, coming, poof, like a movie, 12/2/2021 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So you create video, and this is so important that you create a video and 2 images, because what we're going to do here is we're going to create audiences out of anyone who's watched 95% of the video, 75% of the video, 50% of the video, through plays, right? Through plays, and 10-second views. For some reason, 10-second views always work really well for me. It even beats through plays in like 75%. Don't ask me why, but it just works, right? And the reason why we use 2 more images is because, like I tell you guys all the time, you want to test different creatives, right? But we also do images because we're going to create audiences of anyone who has engaged with Facebook or Instagram. Okay? And if you don't have a brand that's big enough, your audience is probably not going to be that big if you're only running the sale for 1 week. But guess what? We're going to hit every audience of everybody who has, you know, interacted with your brand at one point or another. So it's very, very important that these 2 things start at the same time, right? And you craft your campaign behind it right here, right? Just hyping them up, and hyping them up, right? And number 3, what you're going to do is you're going to drop your ads. You're going to create your campaign, and you're going to have it ready to go. But you're going to schedule it for 12 a.m. the day of the sale. Okay? And what are we going to do here? Everything has to start going on at the same time. So how are we going to deploy this? The ads are going to start at 12 a.m. the day of the sale, right? And the next thing, and I'm going to get into the audiences for the ads, but before I break down the audiences that we're going to use, I'm going to tell you the other thing that you need to do. Is your ads, not your ads, I'm sorry, your emails from Klaviyo for the day of the sale, they're going to go out at 8 a.m., right? 12 p.m. or noon, 3 p.m., 5 p.m., and 8:45 p.m. And you say, why 8:45 p.m.? I've tested this a million times over, and it could be different in your audience, but I'm telling you, I've done it across multiple accounts, and 8:45 p.m. seems to be the sweet spot, especially for women, okay? Especially for women who we know spend more money online. Why do you want to do this? And before you go, oh, but what if people are going to unsubscribe from my list? Trust me, you will not have anybody unsubscribe from your list if they love your brand. Because what happens is, not everyone is, if you send one email by itself, not everyone is going to see it. So you got to hammer their inbox, especially if it's like a Saturday or a weekend. The sale that I told you about that did 50x, we did 50x ROAS in one day, then it dropped to 40 on the second day, and then on the third day, I think it ended like at 30 or something like that. So, you know, the longer the sale goes, your ROAS is going to go down, but you're still making a massive amount of sales. So that's why I like to do it for just one day. And that's the other thing, like, sales are serious. If you say it's one day, that's it. Don't be one of those brands that say, oh, we decided to extend it. No, man. You got to mean business. That way, when you have the next sales, you get even more results because now they know you're serious. But anyway, so you got to make sure you hammer their inbox all day long, because I'm telling you right now, not everybody's going to see the email at 8 a.m. Not everybody's going to see the email at 3 p.m. So you want to catch them at one point with a fresh email in their inbox. 8:45 is very important for women, especially who have kids, because guess what? Most people put their kids to bed, young kids, between 7:45 and 8:30, and like 8, somewhere on there. I learned this from having a kid. So they sit down to chill at 8:30 p.m. and that's when they check their phone or watch TV. So 8:45 works like a charm, or 9 p.m. All right, so that's your emails. Make sure in your emails that you're saying the sale is live. You gotta upsell your products. You gotta talk about it. Make sure you have your shop now links, and a very important thing that you have to have in your emails. You must have a huge countdown in the email. I'm talking about huge. The ones where they go backwards with the seconds, like 10 hours left, 8 hours left, 4 hours left. Because guess what? Every time they see your ads running, and every time they open a new email, if they open them, if they open all of them, they're gonna keep seeing that clock going backwards. And the later they wait to open it, the less time there's gonna be. So now the FOMO is for real, especially if you're a good brand. So let's talk about what audiences should I use for my ads. All right, so if you don't have, I like doing that. If you don't have it, let's start. If you're a young brand and you have massive amounts of organic traffic, you're gonna do your standards, right? So it's gonna be Facebook, 365 days, right? 180, right? I don't know why I wrote days again. Do 120, 90, 60, 30, then you do 14, then you do 7, and you break it down, okay? And these audiences, depending on your budget, it can be as low as $5, $10, $20, $25. It really depends how much organic traffic you get in your store and your ads, right? So it's not only Facebook and Instagram, both. Okay? So these two audiences is going to be Facebook and Instagram. Make sure you do both. All right. Next audience you're gonna have is the video ones that I told you about, and these are all custom audiences. These are not lookalikes. A lot of you tend to confuse custom audiences with lookalikes. This is just the custom audience. Next audience is gonna be your Klaviyo audiences. Not only the ones that opened and clicked on the links, but your whole subs list, VIP segment. You should have a VIP segment. People who spend like 500 and above or something, whatever your number is, and repeat customers. I mean, you want to be in front of them everywhere they go. So make sure you use your Klaviyo custom audiences, okay? Next, let's talk about our website audiences, right? So you're gonna do, same here, website visitors. I'll probably do website visitors. I'll probably do, I don't know, 30, because they're the freshest. And you can play with this. It depends how much work you want to put into it, really. I mean, there's no right or wrong way to doing it. This is just me. I like 30 because they're fresh. That means they came to your store, they looked around, maybe they purchased something, maybe they didn't, okay? This move is up to you, and it depends on the type of store you want. If you have a store with tons of SKUs, do not, and I repeat, do not exclude website visitors and purchases. I always tend to exclude website visitors and purchases at the top of the funnel, but you guys got to remember, this is a hardcore retargeting campaign. This is the middle of the funnel, right? So exclude, do not exclude purchases of website visitors, because even if they bought from you the first item, if you want to avoid people that just literally bought like a few days prior, exclude maybe 7 days and that's it. Purchase. All right, that way you don't have to worry about people who's like, I just bought this the other day, give me a discount. If you want to deal with that, don't exclude your purchases, right? Okay, so we got that. We got our Facebook, Instagram, website visitors, Klaviyo, all the open lists. Other audiences you got to do, it's going to be your page views. Same thing, pick your poison here. I like to, it depends on your budget. If you have the budget, do all of them, because you're going to cut off the losers very quickly. Page views, view content, right? collections, if you have specified collections, you should be using specific creative for that collection. Well, no, because we're not going to do, the reason why I told you, sorry, I got confused for a second there. If you're using the lander that I told you about with the countdown, you should put all your items that are on sale on that page if it's only a few. If it's all the whole store, then don't worry about it. Just get rid of the lander. View content, create collections, audiences, and then products, if there's specific product types. If you have custom audiences that you created as well, create custom audiences. You know, you're going to retarget all of these people, right? This is all your middle of the funnel. So that's just a few ideas, and make sure engaged. These are engaged with everything. It's the first choice when you create the custom audience for Facebook and Instagram. So make sure you do that correctly. All right, so that's our middle of the funnel, but that's not all. Now we got our bottom of the funnel, right? So what's our bottom of the funnel? You should know this by now if you've been watching this channel for a while. It's gonna be our DPA, what does that stand for? Dynamic Product Ads, Catalog Ads. Yeah, or as I like to call them, old school carousel. I still can't spell carousel to this day. I don't even know if that's spelled correctly. Let me know in the comments. I think it's 1 R or 2. I think it's 1. I don't know. This is what happens when English is not your first language. Anyway, so your catalog ads. Now, you can get fancy with your catalogs. Like for this specific sale, I actually did specific product sets. Right? And then I did all products. And depending on your traffic, once again, you're going to do 30 days. Okay, 30 days, 14 and 7, right? And you do VC and ATC, right? Same here, VC, ATC, VC, ATC, and VC and ATC should work well depending on the type of traffic you want. You got to remember, Facebook's getting very good. The algorithm is getting very good at picking out people, right? So you do 30, 14, 7, 3, and 1. Again, these three right here, 7, 3, and 1, that's if you have plenty of organic traffic, because if not, you know, it's not going to spend. It's not going to move. You got to remember, these dynamic product ads are not going to move until Facebook knows that, hey, there's at least 100 people in this audience that might purchase. And objectives, for me, at all times, is always purchase. I know there's people out there who say, well, retargeting, you should do link clicks and you should do, traffic. Listen, or awareness or whatever. I tested it a million times. And for me, in all of the accounts that I've done it, purchase it's always king. So I do purchase. But make sure you have enough traffic so you can sustain the 7, 3, and 1. Because if not, guess what? They're not going to move. So you got to make sure you have 30 and 14 with enough traffic. If you have massive amounts of traffic, then you have these, but on top of it, I want you to create separate just ATC no purchase, separate 14 days ATC but no purchase. And if you want to do it correctly like you're supposed to, and you want to put in the work because it's worth it, like 50x is worth it, right? 50x ROAS is worth putting all that work a couple of weeks ahead of time. Write the copy, write the ad copy directly and specific to each part of the funnel on the ads. So if you're calling people out for view content and add to cart, keep it generic. Hey, we know you checked out our sale. What are you waiting for? There's only X, it's only, it ends at the end of the day. Boom. Now, if you know that's just ATC, hey, we noticed that you added to cart, but you left it there. What's up with that? Make sure to take advantage of it because the sale ends tonight at midnight or whatever, Tuesday or whatever. And that way you put the super duper FOMO in it, or, before we run out of items, right? One of a kind or anything like that. And this is how you're able to craft a massive quote unquote holiday sale, or any type of sale for that matter, while not competing with a million people for like something like Mother's Day, but you can do this on a random Tuesday and absolutely clean house. The only thing I'm going to tell you is make sure you have the inventory to go with it, because it's absolutely insane when you pull this off. Guys, if you like that product, make sure to check out the links in the description below. Help support the channel. And if you want to keep learning about Facebook ads and marketing in general, make sure to check out one of the videos right above me. And I will see you guys in the next video.